All right, here we are for round number one. Lost the die roll. Our opponent is on the play and Mulligan to 6, and we're looking at this hand here, where we have 6 mana, 6 mana, 7 mana, 5 mana, and some cheap cards. I mean, we can use Censor to maybe buy us some time, or Cycle to help us hit some land drops. But ultimately, I don't think this hand is good because of how slow it is. So I'm going to also Mulligan here. And this hand appears to be significantly better. We have a Censor, we have Harness Lightning and Glimmer of Genius, so we'll keep this one. Opponent is down to 5 and keeps 5. An island, I will put that on top. That's going to let us cast Glimmer of Genius. Alright, Forest, go. Let's play Ephemeral here. Just setting up to next turn be able to cast Harness Lightning or Censor, and then so on and so forth. No play on turn 2. Right, we'll just play an island and send it back. Right, grapple with the past. Because our opponent's on a mulligan here, I think I would rather just counter this, because grapple could easily put cards in the graveyard that are needed and also get back something that is needed. So I like just getting rid of that option. And I'm not too worried about like what gets cast this turn, like maybe Rogue Refiner or something like that. Grapple of the Past with Forest and Aether Hubs, it is a Rogue Refiner. It suggests to me that we're playing against Temur Emerge, so something to keep in mind here. Supreme Will. Well, I want to be able to Glimmer next turn, and I'm not too worried about what gets cast over the next few turns. And I don't want our opponent to be able to emerge a Deep Fiend off of Rogue Refiner. So we're just going to spray the Refiner, play a tapped Sloth, and then send it back. I mean, our opponent is free to play whatever they want this turn, but chances are it's not going to be anything too crazy, and in fact, it's just nothing. Alright, so here we'll play the hub, set ourselves up to Glimmer, end of turn, and then after that we're in reasonably good shape. And no play here is pretty nice. Probably has a hand of like Elder Deep Fiends, and maybe even does the W key not work anymore? I need to change my key bindings. Alright, so Glimmer and Illumination. I don't think I want the Illumination. I definitely want the second Glimmer. Scatter's a good one. We'll play the tap land, because then when we can Glimmer, and if we find a Gearhulk, we'll have an untapped 6th land. It's pretty good. Right, I'm going to pause the feed for a second and fix my key bindings. Since this deck doesn't have a endgame like Emrakul, I feel pretty favored against it. Champion of Wills, that's an interesting one. Huh, that's actually pretty good. Allows for a loot and serves as fodder and comes back later. It's actually pretty good. I am just going to scatter its essence here. I think that's better. 2 turns from now, or 1 turn from now, they can bring it back, but it's not much I can do against that. Ooh, Nasty Belasty. Like to see that. Alright, I got some plans for this next turn. See what happens over here. So they can play a land. Nope, nothing. Alright, we're looking for one untapped land for this Bolas. Grappling. Okay. Champion the Wits back to hand. Now I get to we'll bottom both. I don't want to tap land. Alright, so now I have the option. I think I'll cycle this sensor. Okay. If I can play Bolas this turn, it's huge. Sweet. Alright. We're going to have each opponent exile 2 cards from hand. So that's going to probably take care of the Champion of Wits. Will, since it's pretty marginal without cards in hand. Nope. Deep Fiended on summon. Okay, so they kept Champion of Wills as the last card in hand. Probably casting it here. Yep. Or Champion of Wits, not Wills. Discarded an Unsummoned and a Servant, played a Lumbering Falls. Okay. So. Alright, another land is fine. We're going to go for exile until a non-land card and cast it. Vessel of Nascency. Okay. I mean, I can activate it off of Aether Hub, so it's fine. Alright, it's probably an attack. So I can activate Fumarole. So Lumbering Falls didn't come into the red zone, so to me that suggests something was drawn. Some spell was drawn. I mean, I could actually just let Bolas take 2. It's probably the bet for the best. That way I'm holding up all this stuff. That was just a land. Interesting. Alright, well, Gearhulk Glimmer. Just looking for... Okay. Looking for game over. Bam! Alright, so playing against a Temur Emerge strategy, so... trying to even think like what would be... I mean, I think Negate is going to be good. There's going to be Planeswalkers, there's Grapple with the Past, Vessel. It's definitely cards that we're going to want to negate. Harness Lightning seems good. Hour of Devastation. So Magma Spray actually seems fine. It kills... there's going to be Tireless Trackers coming in for sure. So it kills Tracker, Preclude, it kills Champion of Wills or Wits without it being able to come back, and it kills Rogue Refiner. A Braid seems pretty bad. Hour of Devastation seems bad to me. I mean, there's gonna be Ishkana, but I think we can rely on other means to handle Ishkana. Tower's an interesting one. I think Dragon Master Outcast is going to be quite good. Want that. I don't think Glorybringer's great. Trying to think if there's anything else that I do or do not want. I think I'm pretty happy with the setup here, actually. I think there's a argument for Dynavolt Tower, but because cards like Deep Fiend can get out of range of it, are just too big for it and stuff, I think I'd rather not. So yeah, we'll run with this. I might be a little loose to like Glorybringers and stuff. I might have too few removal because there's also Tracker to keep in mind. So I think if anything, my issue is that I slanted a little too light on removal. So we'll see if I get punished this game for that. Well, it's an interesting hand. I think I keep. I have a lot of 1-mana cyclers. I have early interaction, Censor Negate, 2 Harness Lightnings. So I'm going to run it, but I could see myself getting punished pretty hard for this. The perfect first draw, they say. The God-Pharaoh. Right, no play on turn 2. I'm going to cycle Illumination here. Leaves myself the option of casting Censor instead of cycling it, should I need to. Alright, these are all good. Spire Bluff, Canal, and Essence Scatter, both good draws. Some sort of creature gets cast this turn, I'm going to Essence Scatter it. If not, I'm going to cycle, cycle Illumination. I'll also cycle Censor. Okay, hit the land. Ding. Another land as well. Do I need more red source or a blue source? Let's go with the red source. Tireless Tracker, I have a feeling it's going to be a tracker. Yeah. Let's just scatter that, not even bother with having to deal with them drawing a card off the clue. Vessel or Traverse, okay. If I get Glorybringer this next turn, I'll certainly regret having used. Oh, another Essence Scatter, perfect. Yeah, we're just going to play our lands out because we're trying to get up to Bolas range. Also Outcast range. This is a Glorybringer. No, it's just another Traverse. So they played the mountain that we know about. Getting another land here in Islands. So one of the 5 cards in hand is an Island. Take another land. Elimination. Interesting. So I think I'll just pass here. But there is certainly an argument to cycling this to try to hit a land drop, but I'd rather cast it. And if our opponent doesn't do something that we care about, we can just cast this end of turn. Vessel. So I don't care about the Vessel. That's fine. We'll just counter whatever they get off a Vessel, negate or scatter. Granted, it could produce Delirium, which is relevant, but it is what it is. Alright, so now we actually just get to cast this. Which I would wager that our opponent has counter magic in hand, but they might not counter this. Yeah, so there's a negate for that, which is fine. I don't mind that getting negated. Okay, another Bolas. It's bad. So I don't want to play this Outcast yet because they could go like Glorybringer plus counter spell for my Essence Scatter. Like I want to have access to casting 2 spells. Okay, so alright, so they added a Rogue Refiner to their hands, so we know they have a Rogue Refiner. Probably play it here. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let it resolve, and then with this trigger on the stack before they get to draw a card, Harness Lightning it. So there's a couple reasons to do this. One, if I do it before they draw a card, then they don't have the mana to Deep Fiend off of it. Also, before they draw a card, they can't potentially draw a way to. So another Refiner. So this time I'm going to scatter its Essence, because I don't want them to draw too many cards. All right. But I also got up, the other main reasons I get up to 1 energy here, so that I have enough energy to harness a Glorybringer, should that happen. Okay, unfortunate. Still no reason to play it. Alright, I'll play it now. Since I have access to enough mana to do the things I want to do. I can harness a Glorybringer plus negate a negate. Okay. Yeah, we'll let the Essence Scatter resolve. I don't actually care about protecting it. I'd rather just handle what they do because I have Bolas to win the game for me. I'm getting 1 step closer to the edge. Getting really close to being able to Bolas them, so. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and spray this right now before they get to draw cards. Alright, so now they get to double loot though, which is unfortunate for sure. This card's pretty good actually. I wouldn't say it's really good, but it's good. Good card. Alright, we've already seen a negate. Discard on summon and an appetite. Okay. Odd. Yeah, slam it. Because I have another Bolas, I'm content to just play one and hope they don't have an answer. Grapple. Let's see what they get back. Probably Rogue Refiner. Yeah, they got a Rogue Refiner back. Oh, yeah. Alright, exile 2 cards from your hand. What up? Ishkana and Essence Scatter. Brutal. Wow, Ishkana would have been pretty good here. Maybe they have a second Ishkana? I don't think I would be beating Ishkana that well, personally, but okay. I guess maybe they fear the Hour of Devastation. That fateful hour. Another negate. Alright, how about you exile 2 cards from your hand? Thank you for playing the game. Deep Fiend and a Tracker, jeez. This Bolas is doing the Lord's work, as they say. Fortunately, he is the Lord of Amonkhet, so it does work out for him. Champion of Wits will resolve. Discarding a Chandra on a land, okay. I wonder what that last card is. Well, I have nothing else to do with my mana, so let us roll with it. I'm just going to block. I'm not going to switch power and toughness. I want to keep my land. Traverse. Yeah, I'm going to negate that because I want to plus Bolas to start getting cards from the top of their deck. And if they still have a really good card in their hand, I'm not going to want to do that. So, alright, let's exile from the top of the deck. Rogue Refiner. Would love a Rogue Refiner. Play another Fumarole. I get to cycle this Defeated Pools. Oh, the God-Pharaoh doing some dirty things. Alright, so again, animate Fumarole. This time I'm going to block and eat this Champion of Wits. Well, we're going to see what gets. It might be a removal spell. An Unsummon. Okay. That's fine. I should have cycled Defeated Pools in response, but... Alright, let's put these Rogue Refiners on each other. I don't want to kill this champion yet. Essence Scatter. It's a good one. Alright, and our opponent concedes. Okay, so we won that one pretty easily, and it was all thanks to the God-Pharaoh. So Nicol Bolas did a lot of work in both games. Seems quite good against a strategy like this. But we're now 1-0 in the league. Hopefully you stay tuned. Watch the rest of the matches.